Master Grade Gundam Alex 2.0. Hey guys, Zero Stick here. Welcome to my review of my Master Grade Gundam Alex 2.0. So yes, this Gundam, darn, as you can see here, the colors are beautiful, of course, and the detailing on it. This Gundam is basically my first RX-78 type, and you can clearly see how good this guy looks. I mean, he is just pretty darn awesome. Even from the back, I just love all the details that they gave it, especially with the panel lining I did. It's pretty awesome. But let's get a closer look. As you guys can see there, the blue, the white looks great, the yellow looks pretty awesome, the red looks amazing. And let's check out the articulation, because this guy just has so much. Now, as you can see here, the arm can go up that much. It can actually go a little bit more. I took off the trash bags by the way, full 90 elbow, which is great. Shoulder pads do move around, so they're not gonna hinder the articulation. And of course, we gotta check out the legs. As you can see, they're split pretty darn good. The side skirt does hinder it a little bit. The knee goes all the way, which is pretty nice. And another thing is, check this out. See how this little part here goes down? Yeah, and you get the full articulation. You don't have anything hindering it, so which is pretty good. But one of the bad things is that some of the other pieces do move around. Now the toes are great, the feet, the ankle joints are perfect, no problems there. And of course the ab crunch is pretty nice. Now moving to the sides is a little bit of a problem, but you also get this, the opening hatch, which is good. It's pretty standard for most master grades now. The head can go up and down, of course, left and right. It can actually go full 360 if you wanted to. You don't really need to do that. And the shoulder pad, as you can see there, does move, and the shoulder does pop out as well. And that is pretty much it for the general articulation. But there is a gimmick that we have to, check out, which is very important to this Gundam. Now this Gundam, the main gimmick here of this Gundam is the Gatling Guns, and the Gatling Guns are basically hidden here in the arm, and you just pull it like this to reveal them. He has two of them, of course, and here's one of them, and it looks pretty darn great. But let's see how low this guy can go, because the RX-78 are known for going low, and here you can see how low that knee can go. And that is pretty awesome. I mean, this is on par with the 3.0 Master Grade that they came out with, the RX-78. Now let's check out his accessories, because you got quite a few things. You have the shield, you have the bazooka, you have the beam rifle, you have an extra V-fin that is broken, you have the hands, you have the beam sabers, and you have two figures, one of Al and one of Bernie. And yes, saying that just makes me wanna cry. I'm joking, guys. It's sad. I know it's sad, but hey, it's pretty nice. And of course, Alex, oh please, the female pilot, Mackenzie, she is inside the Gundam. You guys already saw it. That's always difficult to show, because you want to get the camera in there, but since it's completely dark, you can't really see anything. But let's put on some equipment and let's check out what the Gundam looks like with them. Here you can see the Gundam with the beam rifle and the shield. Remember that the shield was not in the OVA. No, the shield was added later in different media like manga and all that stuff. And I think, if I remember correctly, the beam rifle was also added later. I could be wrong about that, but it just fits this Gundam so nicely. Remember, this Gundam was supposed to be the replacement for Armor Roll, and of course you have to have the big Alex right there, which I just love. I love the design of this shield, obviously, and the beam rifle looks, like I said, it looks great. It looks pretty darn awesome. It's a very different design. And I love how the E-Pack is kind of like a magazine that you just load up. It's just great that they went with that design for this Gundam. But the shield has a gimmick, and as you can see here, yeah, the shield opens up to reveal the Gatling gun on the arm, and this is something the original one couldn't do. Yes, this is a gimmick specifically made for the Master Grade 2.0 for this guy, which is pretty awesome, makes it a lot more special. Now it does have the bazooka, of course. You can see it there on the back. Now for some reason my bazooka, do you see how it's leaning? I don't know why that's going on, because the peg is okay, everything else is okay. I don't know why that's happening. It's actually wobbling a little bit, so I don't know what's going on there. Maybe I'll have to add some sticky tag in there, but the bazooka looks pretty darn awesome, and I love how they actually gave it the camera. You know, some of the bazookas don't have anything, it's just a tube and that's it, but not with this guy. They really went the extra mile. There you can see where the little peg folds up, and it's to allow you to put it on the back. The thing that I really wish they would have done was to make it so the shield would be on the backpack like the original RX-78 too, but no, they didn't do that, sadly. But the poses, I mean, with beam saber in hand and those menacing machine guns, this guy just looks amazing. I just love how they actually added silver parts to the backpack. That to me was a must. And there you can see the legs. The legs are just so impressive. It's something that it really makes this Gundam stand out, because you can get so low and have such extreme angles on it that it's just great. And of course you can have it displayed with the final attack it does in the OVA, which is pretty cool, you know. And of course you can do something like that, both machine guns going at it. Darn, I love that pose. That pose is probably one of my favorite with this Gundam. And of course you can do the final shot. Who doesn't like doing the final shot with their Gundams? It's such an epic moment, even if the Gundam doesn't do it, but it's a cool pose. Now let's get to the other gimmick that this Gundam has, and it's armor. Yes, Gundam Master Grade 2.0 Alex comes with the armor just like the original did, but the armor here is different. And you might be thinking, what is the difference here? What is the big difference with the armor? Well, first of all, the armor is not hollow plastic. You might be thinking, wait, not hollow plastic? What are you talking about? They gave it an inner frame. Yeah, that's the skeleton of the armor. And the only thing that I don't like about this skeleton is that the plastic they use for it is a little bit weak, so I suggest if you buy this model kit, be careful with it because it could break. It hasn't broken on me, but it is very easy to give it, you know, to stress it out a lot. And displaying it like this, what you guys are seeing here, is not something that I do a lot. I don't like it, you know, I like to keep it or with the armor on or without it, but I don't like to display like this because I'm always afraid that I'm gonna, you know, put a little bit too much pressure on it and it's gonna break. But you can see the thrusters on the back there, and they're completely detailed, which is pretty darn awesome. I wish they were a different color, but what the hell. Now of course with the poses of the armor, you get this. Now this is how we see the Gundam Alex the first time we see it with the armor, except for that head part, and we'll talk about the head part soon because that is exclusive to this Master Grade. Now I know that there is a SD Gundam version that actually has it, but man, this guy or this girl is pretty thick. I mean, is Alex, did you consider Alex to be a guy Gundam or a girl Gundam? I mean, the pilot is female, you know, Alexandra, you know, it kind of fits like girl, and you know, it's thick. So this guy just turns, or girl just turns into a Hulkbuster. This is the Hulkbuster of Gundams, because it's just so thick with the armor, so bulky. Man, I love the color of the armor as well. I love that you can panel line those X's, those side vents and everything. You know, having the little numbers. It actually covers the backpack, the whole back skirt, but I wish the back skirt would have been articulated like it is normally, instead of just being one solid, because it does hinder the articulation. Check it out, doing some poses, you know, pumping up. Another thing is that, yeah, the covers for the Gatling gun go up and down. They're supposed to work like that, by the way, but they don't really lock in place completely. So that is how that is working. But man, if you have played Gundam versus Extreme Maxi Boost on, you know that this guy is full on melee attack and is just great. And just having it like this, I actually copied some poses from the Incredible Hulk, honestly, and it just looks so menacing just having it like that, you know, just so big, so powerful. It's just one of those Gundams that you wish you would see a little bit more, honestly, besides the games, you know. But man, I know what you guys are thinking, huh? It does have side vents and stuff that opens. Yes, it does have some movable gimmicks. As you can see, the side vents on the side, and of course the arms are gonna open up, which is one thing that is exclusive to this master grade. That wasn't, I think the SD didn't do that with the armor. I think the SD, all it did was the headpiece. But check it out, with all the thrusters open up, and it's looking pretty darn massive. And yeah, putting the armor on gives you extra verniers there on the back. So here you can see it with the open machine cannon, which is pretty awesome. Just that alone is pretty cool. But you can see how it does open up, and that's fully open, and it does hinder your ability to see. They're really well covered, but it's armor. It's supposed to work like that, and to me it looks great. Now this is what it looks like with all the hatches on the side open, the ones for the legs and the ones for the shoulders. Now that is, well, the explanation they give is to make it look, not look, I mean, it's gonna look cool, but to make it more maneuverable, so it can actually use its thrusters, because the original armor, well, it didn't have anything like that. It was just the armor on it, and that was pretty much it. So they decided to spice it up a little bit, and as you can see, you still get a lot of articulation from this guy with it on. I mean, you're always gonna lose articulation when you put armor on, but it's still pretty good. Now, as you guys can see there, the mask, which has the missiles on the sides, was pretty awesome, and that's why it looks like, you know, if the original one looked like that. Now, honestly, what can I say about this Gundam that I haven't said already? One thing about this Gundam that let's talk about a con here, and I don't know if this goes for all of the Gundam Alexes that came out, or it's just mine, but for some reasons the sides, the Gundam actually has covers for the joints, for the knees and for the elbows on the frame, and those tend to pop out pretty easily. So when I'm posting it and stuff, it kind of, you know, pops out. So I don't know if that is for everybody, but it's something that is pretty easily fixable. I haven't fixed it on mine, but if you can get some Tamiya thin cement, just put a little bit on the pegs and just squeeze it in, and that should be fine. Another con would be that it doesn't come with an action base, so you kind of need to get one, obviously. It just adds so much to it, and darn, there's really nothing else that I can say, you know, besides the inner frame of the armor being a weaker plastic. I wish they would have made it a lot solid, and I wish they would have allowed you to give more articulation, especially on the back skirt, because when you want to throw the legs all the way back, you can't. I wish they would have made it separately, you know, so it would move independently from each other instead of just being one solid piece of plastic there. But I have to admit, this is probably one of my favorite Gundams that I have right now. I have Gundam F91, I have this one, and it's just really cool having a full-size Gundam, a 18-meter tall Gundam that actually works the way it should and everything. Now, I want to say this: if you are thinking about the Natalie from Gundam 00, and you might be thinking, man, I'm really worried about the armor, I say don't. That Gundam, remember, is mostly armor. The inside of that Gundam is fully frame, it's just frame, so I'm pretty sure there's not gonna be any problems. I mean, this guy doesn't have a problem. This guy has an inner frame, has the armor, has another inner frame for the other armor, has 4 layers. This sucker has 4 layers already, and it's pretty good. And the Natalie is probably just gonna have 3 layers, or maybe they'll go with 4, but since the arms and legs and the body is so skinny, I don't think there's gonna be any problem with it. Maybe we'll topple over and stuff like that. It can happen. Haven't had this guy topple over a lot, but if it happens, it's mostly, you know, something that is not the model kit itself. Maybe I put it the wrong way, maybe I hit the table, maybe I hit something. So yeah, that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys next time.